Here's your no-drama dose of local good news, a calm way to start your day that might even work for that morning carpool. A few stories, a little heart, and hopefully something worth sharing. Good morning, Wake County. I'm Steve, your friend, your neighbor, and your host here at Good Morning, Wake County. Thanks for joining me today, where we skip the noise and start the day with something good. People say everything around here is growing too fast. Too many cars, too many buildings, too many people. And honestly, I get it. I really do. Years before I ever moved to Wake County, I used to sit outside of Washington, D.C., in my office in Rockville, Maryland, and watch live traffic cameras of 540 during rush hour, and I'd shake my head. That's it? That's traffic? That's amazing. Now, with a little rounding, nearly 20 years later, I live here, and yeah, traffic has grown. But compared to the Beltway around D.C., it still feels like a miracle. I didn't get to Wake County the easy way. For a few years, my family and I relocated overseas for work, all the way to England. But while I was there, I couldn't stop thinking about Wake County, and when we came back to the U.S., we should move there. I remember those traffic cameras. I remember the calm, and I kept thinking, that would be a great place to live. It had everything: strong schools, world-class healthcare, a thriving international airport, great services, entertainment options, and a feeling that somehow it just felt right. Oh, and when I talk about RDU as a great airport, I've been both a pilot and a passenger out of there. And our local RDU airport doesn't get all the credit they deserve. It is absolutely a reason to consider making Wake County home if you travel or fly or just want to escape to Peoria, London, or a restful tropical weekend. We picked our home from England, sight unseen, just pictures online, but we knew this was it. Wake County was going to be our home, so we flew over, bought it, and made plans to start transplanting our roots in Wake County. Wake Forest, to be exact. Here's what I've noticed after 65 years on this earth. Every place I've ever lived has grown, and every place had folks convinced it was growing too fast. I remember thinking all my old neighborhoods, going back to when I was a kid, were perfect. They're peaceful, beautiful, close-knit. But I also remember the neighbors back then complaining about traffic, building backyard bomb shelters in the 1960s. But that's a different story. Neighbors were excited and disgusted with the new grocery store, but mostly about how things just aren't the same anymore. Funny how that works. And right now, towns around Wake County are changing. Garner's growing fast. Cary and Apex are making national top 10 lists. Zebulon, Knightdale, Clayton, still a little under the radar, but not for long. Growth isn't just a number, it's a story, and every town is writing its next chapter. And so are we in the way we welcome people, help neighbors, and keep trying to hang on to all the good we can. Here's a truth I've learned the slow way. Most of us weren't born here. We moved here, just like the folks we now shake our heads at. And I can't count the number of times I've heard someone complain about yet another new neighborhood from inside their own suburban development. That's not judgment, it's just irony. Because almost all of us here are the very people we complain about. So maybe growth isn't just about more stuff, more cars, more noise. Maybe sitting through a traffic light twice isn't the worst thing in our lives. And maybe we're not giving ourselves enough credit to learn to appreciate today rather than worry about how things will change tomorrow, because they will. I'm certainly not trying to tell you how to feel, but instead just give you a different perspective that these are the good days we will look back on fondly from the future. Oh, and on the podcast tomorrow, We'll flip the lens, and I'll share what growth has actually given us, the moments we overlook, the little miracles we take for granted, and why Wake County just might be one of the best places to grow with change. Don't miss it. Every so often, Wake County reminds us that being human means caring, even when no one's watching, even when it's just for the smallest among us. Recently, over on Method Road in Raleigh, a house fire lit up the darkness. Flames clawed out from an old garage, climbing through a wooden frame, long since abandoned. But what looked just like another structure fire turned into something far more tender. Raleigh firefighters raced into action with lights and sirens. More than 40 firefighters showed up ready for battle. Bunker gear, hoses, the whole works. The home was empty of people, but not of life. Because in the haze and the ashes, they found them. 14 stray kittens, scared, smoke-stained, and missing their mother who couldn't be found. Tiny lives tucked in the crawl space of an otherwise forgotten house. Fire Captain Ralph Ripper of the Raleigh Fire Department is quoted as saying, "We recognize that pets are family members. I have 2 dogs, and they're my family members, and so we take care of them as best we can." If you're a pet lover like I am, hey, it's a good idea to post a little sign in the front door sidelight or window to let firefighters know you got pets that need to be searched for. Once discovered, the firefighters scooped up those kittens, soot-covered and shivering, like they were rare jewels dug from the rubble. There's something about that image. Rough hands, used to axes and ladders, now cradling a kitten like it might break if you breathe too hard. It's not just rescue, it's reverence. Now, Method Road, that stretch between Hillsborough and Western, won't make any travel guide, but for one night, it was a sanctuary. A man who ran inside before crews arrived was treated for smoke inhalation. He's going to be okay. And thanks to Wake County Animal Services, those kittens, they got a shot at 8 more lives. And who knows, maybe even a name and a soft lap in their future. It's easy to forget how fragile life is, how fiercely people will fight to protect it. But then a call comes in, a blaze lights up the night, and a crew of everyday heroes stands between the fire and 14 meowing reasons to believe still know how to love. So here's to that fire crew for staying, for caring, and for remembering that heroism doesn't require headlines. Sometimes it just means not leaving until every last heartbeat is safe. Now, the ending to this next memory was not as life-saving, but it was heartwarming. I once responded to a house fire in Wake Forest as a photographer, and it was ripping. The people in the home survived, but the family dog didn't make it. That's tragic. But what people don't know is those Wake Forest Fire Department firefighters went above and beyond that night to help that family. Without anyone outside the family knowing, they buried the family dog in the backyard with a silent respect any beloved family member deserves. Under the guidance of Fire Chief Ron Early, the Wake Forest Fire Department really shined that night. And hey, before we head into our last story today, if you've ever had mixed feelings about how fast Wake County is growing, make a note to come back tomorrow because I've got something for you. If you've ever taken a drive down Knightdale Eagle Rock Road on a weekday morning, windows cracked, maybe a little music humming, you might have glanced at a patch of land that looks like nothing more than open sky and red dirt. But that land is changing now, not with bricks and beams, but with something a lot harder to measure. Knightdale Hope. It's called The Garden, and it's not just a name to make you feel good. It's the new $25 million campus from the Raleigh Rescue Mission. quietly rising out of Wake County soil at 5200 Knightdale Eagle Rock Road. And what it's growing isn't tomatoes or tulips. It's a big crop of second chances watered with hope and opportunity. This place is designed for women and children rebuilding after homelessness. 101 rooms. A children's learning center that can hold 150 kids. Job training, healthcare access, counseling, financial literacy, a full-on roadmap out of survival mode. Brian Oxford from CAHEC is quoted as saying, "The garden is more than a shelter, it's a community." And I know, community is a word we toss around a lot these days. But here, it's not just a buzzword, it's the blueprint. Because this garden, it'll even have walking trails, because don't people down on their luck for a wide variety of reasons deserve a path to reinvent themselves? It's got a gym that's going to be open to the public, a rooftop terrace, classrooms, and warm places to talk through hard things. It's where someone who's had every door slammed in her face can finally walk through one that says, "Welcome home." Now, I remember when Knightdale was just sleepy fields and porches with squeaky swings. Seeing that same land now turning into a support system for 300 or 400 people every year, that's not just growth, that's redemption rooted in clay, timber, and steel. And they're not stopping there. Downtown, they'll be able to grow their reach for men by 150% with the newly shifted capacity. More shelter, more support, more lives getting lifted because, let's face it, don't we all hit potholes in life? I mean, some folks land deeper than others, but the real question isn't who fell. It's who shows up with a hand. None of us rise on our own, not really. And in Knightdale, it looks like this whole community just extended both arms. And let's be honest, not everyone will be excited for this new effort. Some will be afraid or resentful or angry. But for those of us that believe in the good in people, maybe we can just be grateful enough for them. So the next time you pass that road, slow down for a second, look out the window. Because what you're seeing isn't just a construction site. It's a miracle in progress, because it's a fact that a lot of lives will be changed for the better. We started out today looking out the windshield, watching Wake County grow in front of us, and tomorrow we're looking in the rear view to see what the growth has already given us. Thanks for spending part of your morning with me, and tomorrow, we'll wrap up this story on growth and talk about the unexpected gifts that come with change, the ones that sneak up on you until one day you realize you wouldn't want to live anywhere else. Oh, and I got a story for you tomorrow about kids playing that will make you feel great about Raleigh. If you know someone who'd smile hearing that too, go ahead and share this with them, and I'll meet you both back here in the morning. Before we go, don't stop yet. If today's episode brought you a little clarity, some comfort, or just made you smile, hitting that like button or subscribing is one of the easiest ways to help this little show grow. It tells the algorithm, hey, this was worth listening to. And that helps more folks find their way here. And if you got 30 extra seconds to spare, leaving a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts is like giving me the best kind of thank you card. The kind that helps us land in front of new neighbors who could use a good news start to their day too. It costs nothing, it means everything. And I'm grateful every time I see one come through. So until tomorrow, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I'll see you right back here in the morning. Bye for now. See ya.